So I want to play for you a cut from KRS-One, who was speaking out, talking about I guess it was the opening day or opening night for the Hip Hop Museum, and it was an event that you guys were having, and KRS-One addressed the crowd there. Let's listen to cut one, Nicky Buttons, and take a listen to what he had to say. I want to get your reaction.
Africa Bambaataa has said that this event is illegitimate and should not happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, KRS. None of the pioneers are in support of this event. None of them will be here tonight.
Wow.
I am here on behalf of the Temple of Hip Hop.
Yeah.
As an observer, we are observing. Those that have questions about the Hip Hop Museum, I am here to answer them.
All right. So it seems that there's some of the pioneers and KRS-One, Africa Bambaataa, the Soul Sonic Force, Zulu Nation, not supporting, saying what you're doing, John, is not legitimate. What do you say?
Well, I have a lot to say to that. I mean, hip-hop is controversy. At its core, there's always going to be controversy, and KRS-One, he is the ringleader of controversy. And you know, let me just put it this way. We had this event 4 months ago when I decided to plan this event. The purpose of the event, the sole purpose of the event, was to come out and say, this is for the pioneers. They created this, you know, worldwide trillion-dollar culture. We're going to have an event to support them, to let them know that, you know, we realize.
Well, what was the event? What was it? Was it a show? Was it an award ceremony? What exactly was the event?
Call it a party. Call it a coming-out party to let everyone know that we're building this museum. We had DJs such as Ralph McDaniels, who is a pioneer. We had DJ Premier. We had DJ Envy there, Kid Capri. A lot of. Did DJ Cheese make it there? I think he was supposed to be there. I don't think he made it. I don't think he did.
All right. Haven't heard from him in a while. So so you have this event, but and what I gathered from what KRS-One was saying, speaking on behalf of Africa Bambaataa, who did not show up, is that these guys wanted basically to get paid.
Yeah, it's always going to come down to it. And listen, I understand.
But wait, it was more than just money. Play cut 5.
Is this all about money, man?
No. It's about respect. But the only way to respect a large group of people with different ideas is to come up with compensation. Not just money. Health care. Legal defense. One unified thought. Do you realize that just last week, 2 weeks ago, Texas voted to take hip-hop out of the textbooks?
All right, so there's a lot of things that are thrown out there, John. Now, the pioneers, they are demanding respect, which I think you're giving them. They are demanding health care. You need to provide health care. You also need to get hip-hop back into the textbooks in Texas. I don't know who put them in there in the first place, but somebody took them out. And what are you going to do about this, John?
Well, listen, we are a cultural institution. We're going to make sure that the culture of hip-hop is preserved, and we're going to make sure that it's in the textbooks. And with the pioneers, I understand where they're coming from, because these individuals, men and women, created a worldwide culture, again, trillion-dollar culture, and some of them are broke, and that's, and they feel a little slighted. So the purpose of our Hip Hop Pioneer Foundation is just that, to provide.
What, you have an actual foundation?
We are creating a foundation. This is in the works for about 6 months, and we're like, Chris, we're working on this, right? We had like I'd say a 1 hour kind of sit down with him right after his interview. I said, we're working on this. We're working on a foundation to provide jobs, to provide health care, food. A lot of them don't even have food during the holidays. And AJ Scratch, one of the pioneers, he was Curtis Blow's DJ. He does a Thanksgiving dinner every Thanksgiving for the pioneers. We want to do stuff like that, stuff just to give back. You know what I mean? And not only that, but we are building a museum that's going to fully represent them. That's going to represent that they are the creators of this culture. This is who they are. This is their music. This is their contribution, and that's. You know what I mean? So that's respect.
Well, maybe can you build them some condos right next to the museum?
That's always a possible. That's always a possibility, right? I mean,
and
right
you
now,
go to the museum, and their job, and you give them a job. Their job is to be at the museum.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they will have jobs. We have workshops. Listen, the museum itself is going to have 4 elements of hip hop represented. Each element is going to have its own department, and those workshops are going to, have pioneers, teach people, teach tourists, teach whoever wants to come to the museum about the 4 elements of hip hop. So, we've spoken to Flash, we've spoken to Chris. Chris is our head professor. Chris is, on our advisory board. African Bambaataa is on our advisory board. So really what this controversy came down to is communication and the pioneers feeling like they're involved, they're substantively involved in what's going on. And we told them, absolutely, this is what the purpose of the advisory board is. You guys are going to say what should be in the museum. You're going to tell the story of hip-hop because you live the story of hip-hop. You know what I mean? But there's always going to be controversy. They'll always be unhappy, and we're just going to do our best to make sure everyone is, fully represented.